High School DxD Season 2, or as the cool kids on the block like to call it, High School DxD New, because every concept in this show is new and different from the first season, and not just a large story-driven booby joke made to feed the primal desires of horny teenage boys. Yes, I'm calling you out. This fallacy-filled summary follows unique protagonist John Issei, bearer of the Cha-Cha Slide Dragon, as he navigates the hardships of being a part of a shitty anime Harlem full of desperate women while also facing a rapey evil priest and ugly warmongers that make him look like a decent human being. So with that in mind, go ahead and relax with your favorite Christian waifus and enjoy the most prominent, ambiguous, tear-jerking summary of High School DxD Season New. The opening scene is just about what you'd expect from this show, with innovative plot points straight out the gate, immersing us into a finely crafted composition, illustrating a teenage boy's heroism and kindness even in the most trifling of moments. I lie, it's just fan service. It seems that our MC's friends are not too happy about his position as Harlem King, so their answer to this internal problem is to start to spread gay rumors about him and Prince Charming around school. I'm not kidding. What comes next is the first of many fetishes crossed off the checklist as scary sadist girl sucks on Issei's fingers like a plate of party wieners at your friend Ted's wedding. Fuck you, Ted. Not too long after, we finally get our first glimpse of an actual plot, as the yaoi storyline properly starts with Kiba refusing to confide in Issei. This unrequited love is brought upon by a recollection of swords that happen to be holy, which happens to make Kiba fussy. Coincidentally, thanks to the writer's ability to create plot ties out of thin air, Issei knows a girl from his childhood who just so happens to have one of these in her house. But just as we are getting somewhere, we are interrupted by a nude fight that will decide the more important matter at hand: who will sleep with Issei. While Issei is in his version of heaven, Kiba is busy filling the show's role of bad boy emo rebel. As he wanders the streets of Japan, a challenger appears. Somehow the rapey evil priest that I'm pretty sure should be dead has returned and is now important again, as he has somehow obtained one of the holy swords. Don't worry, they don't explain that. After a really short fist of cuffs, he runs off, and Kiba goes back to brooding. The next day, some weird Girl Scouts in white robes from the Holy Catholic Church come to do, well, I don't really know yet, but this scene might hold the answer. After an unnecessary bath scene, it is clear that the Christian Girl Scouts are just here to chat and not to guilt trip you into buying cookies so that you won't go to the 7th layer of hell. It seems that this was not made clear enough to these two, and we still end up in a scenario where Kiba and Issei are fighting two girls in skin-tight tactical suits with swords. Holy swords, that is. While Kiba's 1v1 is about what you expect from shonen anime, Issei's is a little out there. The two church ladies take the dub, and once more Kiba storms off and goes back to brooding. Cue the next bath scene. While Kiba mopes over the cityscape, Issei and Neko make a plan to get the prince to not be so depressed. They recruit, this guy whose name I don't remember, and the begging church girls in an operation to destroy the 6 swords of God. But before we can get to that, we need to go through another bath scene.
What's going on there?
The team commences the operation, but they are very unsuccessful in their first attempt. Their devil masters end up finding out about this covert operation, and they are punished in the only way fit for rogue devils: a good spanking.
You can't make this shit up.
Later that night, for reasons unexplained, one of the church girls is wandering the streets alone in the dark and gets absolutely clapped by the freaky priest, the most ugly motherfucker to live on this plane of existence. Meanwhile, at the Hyodo residence, Issei is getting the full newlywed treatment from not one, but 2 lovely girls. To make this scene even more uncomfortable, his mom just goes along with the whole nude woman in aprons, like it isn't the slightest bit weird. It is. Shit really starts to hit the fan though the following day when Archangel Mr. Fugly begins his evil villain monologue to Squad Gremory after they find Christian Girl Scout 1 all beat up but not dead for, well, I don't know why he didn't just kill her actually. Squad Gremory then gets launched into a battle out of nowhere that has no build up whatsoever that will decide if this entire city will be blown the fuck up by this old fart or if our heroes will live to see another day. There is no good way to explain how we got to this point, but what the hell, it's game time. The battle becomes one-sided pretty fast as Guy in the chair doesn't even have to stand to beat their ass. His one fault though is he gets bored easily and just leaves. Squad Gremory is then left to fight the Harry Potter dog, the perverted priest, and the old fuck who's only present for the sake of Prince Charming's character development. After he becomes one with the souls of his fallen brethren, which is rather similar to a mechanic in Dark Souls, Kiba unlocks a broken skill sword given the title Holy Devil's Sword, which logically makes no sense, but that's why they call them bounce breakers. At this point in the show, everything is being thrown into the kitchen sink, so Christian Girl Scout 2 lets it be known that she also has a broken skill that I just call Big Ass Sword. Things start to get serious as a guy in the chair has to stand to take care of these two. In the lull of the battle, Mr. Fugly throws a giant curveball of information stating that God actually died like 40 years ago or something. The shock of this news puts Asuya into a coma, while blue-haired Girl Scout somehow manages to stay strong even after hearing that her religion is a massive ruse. Of course, to no surprise, Issei is more focused on the beauty of the female frame than to give a rat's ass that one of the great deities has fucking died. With the power of boobies on his side, he charges the Fugly Angel. Alas, this fight is cut before it can even begin so that the White Dragon Emperor can be introduced, but more likely just to save some production budget. Supposedly, Issei is to fight this man to the death according to some dumb prophecy about the Cha-Cha Slide Dragon that resides within him. Apparently, this plot element isn't as dire as it was originally made to seem, as the White Dragon annihilates Ugly Angel Guy, tells Issei to get good, and then dips. That's pretty much it. The next day, it turns out that the blue-haired lady had an internal crisis after finding out that God the Immortal Creator has been ratioed, so she opts to become a devil. I don't really follow that rationale too much, but who cares, add her to the party. To add some more twists to the mix, this guy that Issei has been servicing like a good host club servant is actually the leader of the Archangels, Azrael. While you would think this would have a strong effect on the momentum of the story, it actually doesn't do much of anything. You'd think that he'd be all evil and everything, since every Archangel up to this point has been a little mental, but nah, he's really chill. Loves fishing, games, leading a race of angels excommunicated by God in a three-way war. You know, pretty average guy. He's all peace and love now though, so don't worry.
Cue the swimsuit scene.
No. What the fuck? It seems that thanks to minor things that Issei has accomplished in his perverted crusade to become a Harlem King, Neko's scary sadist and blue-haired lady have started to take a liking to him. Just roll with it. Since the accomplishment of taking out the old fart that made his childhood a living hell, Kiba has turned back to normal, and the title of Bad Boy Emo Rebel is once more up for grabs. It doesn't take long for this position to be filled by the White Dragon Emperor, who shows up with the attitude and fashion sense to fit this role. It seems that his only reason for existence is to act like a total prick before announcing that he is a busy person and leaving before anyone can hurt his self-esteem. Next on the High School DxD academic calendar is Open House, but before we can get to that, we are blessed by Lucifer himself with yet another bathing scene. That adds up to a total of 4 now for all of you counting at home. Back to the Open House event, Issei gets to meet all the problematic and interesting family members of President 1 and President 2, while also being roasted by his own father. Damn, that hurts. It seems that Papa Hyodo is getting along very well with King Lucifer and Lucifer's father. And I mean, how could you not? These two men are as fine gentlemen as anyone in the JoJo-verse. After Rias' daddy and brother come to put back a few beers with Papa Hyodo, Issei and Rias sneak away to go kiss passionately in his bedroom. Big bro Lucifer butts in to tell Rias she should let her other bishop out of the box, so what little exists of a plot can actually start to progress again. Now you may be asking yourself, why the hell is there a person locked in a box in this school, and how has no one ever mentioned this before? Well, I don't know. What's in the box? As it would appear, there is a little vampire girl living inside this box, but upon further inspection, my friends, what appears on the surface isn't always as it may seem. This small girl is actually a boy. Take your time to digest that. Squad Gremory begins training Little Vamp to control his powers, but somehow they make no progress. They do, however, add a 5th strike to the bath scene tally. While the females share a bare-all relationship in the Hyodo bath, Issei is bonding with Little Vamp over Rias' breast. With this man-made bond, Little Vamp's training is a great success. On his way home, Issei meets Saint Michael of the Holy Bible, who gives him a Holy Dragon Slayer's sword as a peace offering, I think. There is then a reveal, if you hadn't already guessed, by her use of lightning and magic, that Akeno is half Archangel, and somehow by just acting cool about her situation, the great sadist has fallen for the subpar MC. After his cuddle session is cut short, Rias gets upset that he doesn't call her by her first name like he does for everyone else. I mean, I too would feel a little weird if the person I sleep naked with called me president. This troubled feeling though seems to go away rather quickly as a fight for Issei nap time breaks out once again for the 8th time this season. While on the topic of 3-way deadlocks, the Devil, Angel, and Archangel leaders meet up to discuss peace, but mostly just talk massive shit. Negotiations are put on hold though when some random cult finds their way on campus to kidnap Little Vamp, who's currently chilling in his little box solid snake style. After they steal his power and freeze time, everyone is frozen except for a few chosen characters to be a part of the story arc. It turns out that this cult is being led by some bitchy demon lady that's upset because she was overlooked for a promotion that this magical girl was given instead. The devils, archangels, and the Holy Spirit come together like that one Rolling Stones song to defeat this toxic co-worker. Azrael takes center stage in this fight, being a flashy badass while filing this woman's 2-week notice a little earlier than she expected. Now you may be thinking everything is wrapped up now and our story can come to somewhat of a conclusion, but no. It turns out that the person who shared Little Vamp's location with the cult was none other than the white bad boy emo dragon himself, truly living up to the rebel mantle on par with Sasuke for the amount of switching sides going on. The white dragon bitch boy starts making death threats about Issei's parents, which riles him up, summoning his armor and becoming the hero he was always meant to be, the Iron Pervert. The two rivals are locked into an intense battle of great proportions, rivaling the intensity of Naruto v Sasuke, Dio v Jojo, Tanjiro v Gyutaro. Issei has the mental advantage in the fight thanks to his rock-solid will to survive so that one day he can take Rize's virginity. With his warped mind supporting his aspirations, he's able to take in the power of the White Dragon, even though this should be logically impossible. White Dragon then raises him with another broken power of warping the dimensions to collapse on themselves, which is as ridiculous as it sounds. But just you wait, Azrael tops both of these idiots by simply explaining to Issei, as you might have come to expect, this gives Issei immense power, rivaling the strongest beings in existence. He gives Valley a little 1-2 action, but before this fight can reach a conclusive end, Son Goku, yes as in the Dragon Ball Son Goku, teleports in, grabs Valley, and teleports out, basically just stalling this climactic fight that has no business being in a show about big titties to some later volume down the road. With everything wrapped up as much as it can be with so many open plot threads, the three factions make peace and Robo-Arm Azrael decides to hang around with Squad Grumry because why the hell not? It is decided that because Issei's primal desires fuel his power, that all female Squad Grumry members will now live with him, and so it be. End story. Well, for now, there's 2 more seasons. Well, I hope you enjoyed yet another incorrect summary of DxD. If you want me to move on to the 3rd and 4th seasons, let me know in the comments below or by leaving a like on this video. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and I'll see you next time. Jane.